You know, back in my day of Neomonsters PvP, there used to be like this thing where you could skip after the enemy had skipped. Like you would wait. If you waited like a certain amount of time, the timer would go off and like you would get to skip after they skipped. There was also like the timing system was different. They didn't have restrictions. Oh, what else was different? Oh yeah, you couldn't run on your own turn, right? So that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed recently is people are like leaving battles a lot more often. And this one little streak with this one little team is the most I've ever seen people run away from a battle. Like if you guys know me, I will hardly ever just like run. I'll usually play a battle out to the end. I think, that's what you should do. You're fighting a good fight. You never know what's going to happen, or maybe they'll disconnect at the very end and you win anyway. But you know, this has just become a lot more common recently, which is like an interesting thing as somebody who's been playing this game for a long time to kind of like see the trends of what's happening. But all that to say, this new team is pretty good, and I've been having a good time with it. And it's probably the closest thing I've ever made to like a try hard team. But still, like, I'm using monsters like Vixian and Yukihime. You don't see them everywhere. But like Charybdia, XYZ, they're all over the place. Nova Drake and who else? Eonrax and Doomgoo and such. But what this team does have some weaknesses that I'm still kind of trying to address. But for the most part, it works super well, and I'm having a great time playing with it. The general premise is like you have the speed from XYZ and the stun pulse from Galvbane. Literally, the stun pulse from Galvbane is there to pretty much stop Skarlagard. But what I found is people are running Skarlagard with stun protection, so I changed that up, which you'll see later in this video. And then I have XYZ for like times up and stuff, and stun absorb whatever. I have Charybdia for bind, and then I have Yukihime for the sleep. You could either use Fatal Sleep or Dream of Snow. I find it better to use Fatal Sleep on first turn. Sometimes you'll use Frozen Heart. Sometimes Dream of Snow will show up. And then I have Vixia next in line to kill off the Galvbane, kill off people I need. Her entrance gives her a large charged Soul Missile, and I have 2 tokens at the back. So she's ready with 2 Soul Missiles. I have Nova Drake because he's a fast sweeper. I have Fyriel next because she's broken. And Devolve is really, really strong right now. Eonrax next because Eonrax is cool. Then Doomgoo. And then, like, it starts to get a little clunky. I think it goes Grimoris into Dreadmoth, into Tricranium, into Trimagus, into Apollonius. What I think really doesn't work about that is the Grimoris. I want to use Bastia to have behind the Doomgoo, except then I can't use Trimagus or Apollonius. I mean, I could, but like, why would you use Trimagus especially? But Apollonius too, like, loses her Stealthy Shield entrance. So still kind of contemplating what to do with the rest of this team. But the front line is super strong, and a lot of times people will just give up in the first, like minute or so of a battle. But then other times I'll come across a team like this, where, as I said, stun protection plus Skarlagard. Skarlagard counters Charybdia and XYZ. And Zephyramus, unfortunately, like you don't see many people running sleep in the front line unless it's one-on-one. One-on-one is faster than Zephyramus, but Yukihime, of course, is like 30% speed. So right off the bat, I lose pretty much my entire front line, and Zephyramus has slowed everybody down. So that's bad. The Skarlagard really, really shut me down here. Normally I could have done an unwanted morph and then killed Skarlagard before Megalodragon got another turn, but because of the Zephyramus, that didn't quite work out. I'm not scared of Megalodragon. He doesn't have a kill. He can't really do much. I am scared of the Skarlagard, but he gets put to sleep. But then I lose 2 more monsters from the, what's that move called? Whatever that move was that he just used. So things are looking great for me right now. But we're still gonna do our best. I've got a lot of food at the back for Tricranium, which is a plus. I see he's got a Motor Dragon next in line. I'm not super worried about, and as I said, I'm not worried about this Megalodragon. He can't do anything. So I shield. Unfortunately, puts Eonrax pretty far back, but I don't want to wake up the Skarlagard, and I don't want to take off my own shields, which he's just going to do here anyway with Megalodragon. I decide not to go for a morph yet because I don't know what he has next in line. So we do have time to clone. because I know I can kill Megalodragon with the Tricranium, so he can't kill my Doomgoo. With the Dreadmoth, I decide, okay, we're going to go for the Crimson Morph, so I can kill Dreadmoth and Spectre Fox, because Spectre Fox would have killed Doomgoo, and I really need Doomgoo alive. So with the rear load, here I'm like, do I go for Aeon Rax or do I go for Soral? And I was thinking, like, if I had gone for Aeon Rax, like, I knew Aeon Rax was going to do the Earthquake, but Soral I was more scared of because, like, baby conversion, all the stealthing and stuff, and I had my Trimagus, or Tricranium, I mean. Hindsight, it might have been better to kill the Aeon Rax, as scary as, what's that guy's name, Soral is. Like, I don't know. But this was tricky. Karma Chain on the Skarlagard, because, like, Tenguko I know is going to kill, but Skarlagard just still has the Bloodthirst and still has so many targets. Orca can't do much. I guess he could Chrono Killer the Aeonrax, which I'm not really worried about. Apollonus can Stealth Break everybody. He does the Shapeshift on her, which is smart. So now there's a Tenguko later in the battle that I need to worry about. Earthquake there apparently ignores Stealth, which, who knew? His Trimagus comes in, though, unfortunately. If I had not done the Dreadmoth and had summoned a Golden Moth later, then maybe I could have done like a Thunder Seal on the Trimagus and the Cyclophena or something. Cyclophena is just, I don't know, man. I don't understand her because I think I get it, right? It's the total of all the monsters, like including reinforcements, but I swear like people are just using moves whenever. Like, I don't know. I don't know. She doesn't make any sense to me. Everybody has her. Everybody uses her. She always beats me. It makes no sense. It's crazy. Like right here, we've got, so 2 plus 4 plus 3. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay, square. I get it. But, like, you don't have time to sit and think about that. But anyway, after my front line got so thoroughly demolished, I'm like, okay, what can I do to stop that? The reason I had Galvbane is to kill Skarlagard, or stun Skarlagard. But with stun protection, how else do you kill a Skarlagard? Well, what about Shiny Blizzheart? You can't use, I mean, you could, it wouldn't help in this situation, but the regular Blizzheart also has Fighting Spirit and Frozen Revenge, but has Sleep Killer, Protector Killer, and Time Strike. This one, Shiny Blizzheart, has Counter Strike and Kinslayer. So what I also found out is I was just doing some test your team battles with the attack buff. He can also kill Plumacilisk, which is huge because Plumacilisk is scary in the front line, especially like can't use protector killers and whatnot. But with the Kinslayer, you get to kill um, Skarlagard before he can do anything because Blizzheart is 99 speed, which is huge. So aside from that change, I think if I were to do anything else differently, it would be like in the end game, and I would replace Grimoris with Bastia, and then figure out somebody else who can do better than Trimagus and Apollonus in the end game. But you know, I'll figure that out. So here, his Arctic Claws can kill the XYZ. He actually goes for the Flame Eater on Nova Drake, which is smart. That's what I would have done as well. No need to kill the XYZ, even though he can. I go for the Devolve on him, and we Soul Missile the, what's his face, Glorionyx. Earthquake, luckily, not doing enough to kill Snow Cub just yet, because Ian Rox just got on the field. Dreaded Strike, Blue Maluga, because I have nothing else to do. I go for the double Counter Slash here, because I'm like, I can just kill Firiel off with the Unwanted Morph, which I decided to do. Now Snow Cub, I think, goes for the XYZ, because the Ian Rax brought him into turn range. Dreamy Entrance hits the Mantis Sword, so now I'm kind of free to do whatever I want, because I can quell the Snow Cub, which I don't need to do, but like might as well. I went for the Spear of Despair on Blue Maluga, because I was like, oh, I'll just kill the Spectre Fox. I don't know. That was a misplay. It didn't really matter, but he's got like Purify All, which he strangely doesn't do. But it would have been smarter for me to kill the Sweet Feather because Blue Maluga still had to load, and I could have pierced him with Spear of Despair anyway before he got another turn. Unwanted Morph the Grimoris because we don't need her at this point. And now I've got two Doomgoos. I've got an Aeon Rax who is probably doing enough damage. So I go for the Dual Slayer Bane to kill off his Orazar. We have enough time to shield before the Flake Drake gets a turn. Spear of Despair is going to kill Infernicorn. You could tell this one's pretty much over. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Super fun team that I've been using. I hope you guys enjoy this PvP content. Team's still not perfect, but I'm working on it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.